works. You kind of have it like this, and then bam. That's going to be the thing that people go, I've never heard this before. Oh my God! My name is Ron Sword. I'm 24 years old. I've been in the microtonal community world for only a couple of years. I began making scale books because I saw that there was no scale books for microtonal guitars. That's why I got into it, because I wanted to be able to play exotic scales, and it's heavy metal, and
you're doing metal with all these different systems.
Exactly, with the new systems, and it's like shredding.
How's it being received?
Extremely well. Everyone freaks out when they see it, and everyone has accepted it as the next step already who knows about it in the metal community. For example, New York Times just did an article not too long ago, and it said the two forms of music that are just continually evolving and technically demanding for guitar are jazz and death metal. And you think death metal, well, isn't that just, rah? It's just one of those kinds of music that is just, people are constantly looking at it. If it gets more extreme, then it's okay. There's even a kind of metal called extreme metal, so
which is?
It's like death metal stuff. The shirt I'm wearing right now is the band Death, from Florida, from the same town as us. These bands kind of like push technique and things like that, and that's where I kind of came from. I came from, as a technical guitarist, I wanted to learn how to shred. I learned all my 7 modes and stuff with a C major scale and 12-tone, and learned all my arpeggio inversions, learned how to play over 12-tone standards, jazz standards, but I'll grab a voicing that I like, and then I'll just take it through the scale, and I'll get to see all the different inversions of the same genus. So that's the kind of thing that my books do. They just kind of explore the new harmonies. Just the other day when we were on John Schneider's show, we met Dweezil Zappa, and he got an opportunity to see the guitars and check out the books, and he was just floored. He couldn't believe it. About Irv Wilson, I found him through Craig Grady and through the Antiphorian Embassy website. Paul Ehrlich was really the one that kind of sent me a lot of information, and it seems like him and Craig Grady are always talking to each other online about Irv, what Irv would do. Like sometimes I'll post a piece of music or I'll post some sheet music, and they'll say, no, Irv would have done it this way. And I go, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, and it's usually exactly what I was trying to do or what I was looking for. And it's just so great that somebody like Craig Grady's sitting around, or you're here with his instruments, ready to teach somebody or show somebody that kind of stuff and make it available again.
What is it of his you've worked with? The MOS scales?
The MOS scales, yeah. I've seen a lot of those drawings and stuff like that. And that's kind of like, in some of my books I even mention, the MOS scales were pioneered by Irving Wilson. But like I said, I just don't know enough about it that I feel like I never could, you know what I mean? I would want to be a student,
Well, his mode of teaching is he mails you these cryptic diagrams that are like yantras. You study them, you meditate on them, and then suddenly they reveal their secrets. And that's sort of, he's never written a paper on that. He calls that the co-prime grid. And all the circled numbers are ratios where the numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other. So that's what I have tuned up on that little piece over there.
This is so cool.
But that is, like many of his structures, they're self-propagating.
Oh my God.
That thing can go on and spill off the page all the way down the block.
Right.
You'll get out of the hearing range quickly, but
right.
It's still cool knowing that the carpet you stand on actually doesn't have an end. It imbues it with a kind of magic.
Right.
And I'll show you some stuff later about the moments of symmetry, because very few people really understand.
I know.
Another one of those
when I read
self-propagating.
it, right. When I read it,
it can be read sideways. It can be read exponentially. It's a train. It's a train that stops in all these different towns, and the train goes forever. So anywhere you stop is totally cool. The babes are hot. But there's a good chance of where you stop, nobody's ever been.
Right.
Like for example, I found this one the other day. Just fucking around. Look at the distance between those notes. That's a 12-note scale with a generator of 0.575. And you get these really, it's again, 2 size intervals, right? A large step and a small step. And the next one up, I think, is 17 and then 29 or something like that. But it is, I was looking for something that was 12 notes that was as far away from 12 equal as you could get. And the thing, like, it just gave me all this shit for free. Like you do a gliss on the white keys. Go ahead. Okay, check this out. Those are the white keys.
That's
Here's
awesome.
the scale, right?
That's awesome.
And that's just one of like a zillion stops along the way. Because he's using, you don't have to use fifths as your generating.
Right, exactly.
Really weird small seconds or thirds or whatever, but they always generate these 2 different size scales,
That's
which is
awesome.
pretty cool. But in the ETs now, you're do a lot of work with ETs, obviously. With
This is
what is it we're
31
looking
tone.
at there?
31 tone.
31 tone. How many strings?
9 string. It's
Wow.
a 31 tone with 9 strings. A lot of people don't like death metal, but it's one of my favorite types of music.
What does this give you that 12 death metal wouldn't?
I just like the way that new sounds are. I like hearing new sounds. I like unpredictability when I hear a new band. So it's like when you bring this kind of thing to the table, and you explain it, slowly, and you say, okay, it's introducing, higher math here, and you just really quickly kind of skim over it. A lot of people will just go, hey, I get it. The ones that have been open-minded for 5 minutes when I talk to them have immediately understood it. That kind of thing interests people, I think, most, and especially with metal, when you're like, I'm sick of hearing the same, Ionian scale. My group, Last Sacrament, is, I claim that it's the first fully utilizing Zen harmonic scales, and there's a lot of support. Bands in general are ready to hear it. They're ready to do it. A lot of people that are my age are accepting of it.
You're laying the foundation for another generation of guitar players.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of what you're doing there. Because somebody's got to say, okay, you've got 31 frets, what the fuck do you do with them?
Right, exactly.
And say, here, bam,
I'm hoping somebody will go, this guy sucks. Let me show you how it's done. Give me that thing. That's what I want them to do.
Take it away.
You know what I mean? I want somebody to go, I bet I could play that better than Ron,
But it's going to take that. It's going to take
exactly.
a kind of a body of people to push the thing forward and realize guitar now really is ready to move forward again.
And I think it's definitely going to be the fastest accepted in the metal community. I really do.
You think metal first?
Metal first.
But you're giving them now this other new element to it.
Yeah. More is more.
Good name for a band.
More is more. Yeah. Wow.
So,
That might be one.
run with it.
Very soon. You play the different sides and stuff like that.
Now, what do you have at what ratios you got on there?